Good morning, students. So in yesterday's class, we have started with this phylum Arthropoda. So we have already discussed about important characteristic features of phylum Arthropoda. So after completion of all the characteristic features, so next we'll go to this classification of phylum Arthropoda. So how many classes are there, and each class will have one or maximum two examples. So that's what we'll discuss one by one. So on what basis the arthropods are classified into different classes? So basis of classification. On what base the organisms are to be classified? So that's what we'll discuss. So first you write it down in small heading classification. On what base? On what base these organisms are in different classes? I've already told you that. So this phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum in the whole animal kingdom. So this is what the main important point from this phylum you should remember always. And second main important thing, and one more thing is, so largest class is also belonging to the same phylum Arthropoda. So which is that largest class in this? Insecta. So why? Because of so many more insects you will find. 2/3 of this complete animal planet you will find so what we call it as insects. So different varieties of insects you will find. So that's what insecta is also biggest class in the whole animal kingdom. That is also belonging to the same arthropods, right? So next followed by when you come across this classification. So these are classified based on, just remember, so these are classified based on body division. You can consider any organism belonging to this phylum Arthropoda. So basically, the body is divisible into three distinct regions: head, thorax, and abdomen. So depends on this different body division. In all organisms, you will not find three body divisions: head, thorax, and abdomen. Some you will find the head and cephalothorax. Some organisms, so different body divisions you will find. So based on this body divisions, we are classifying into different classes. Based on body divisions and presence or absence of certain appendages. Certain appendages. So depends on this. Based on body division, presence or absence of certain appendages or legs. So based on these two, we are classifying into 6 classes. Total 6 classes together in this phylum Arthropoda. So what are those classes with one example we discuss? So you just write it down. First class Onychophora. Class Onychophora. So Onychophorans, one best example, I'll write it as Peripatus. You may heard about this Peripatus. Peripatus will commonly called walking worm. We'll commonly call it as walking worm. So walking bum, scientifically called a peripatus. One peculiar characteristic feature of these class animals or peripatus means, so this is what I will commonly calling it as, just remember this is very important, connecting link between. According to evolution point of view, this is a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. This is a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. How this is to be connecting link between Annelida? Actually, this peripatus belongs to Arthropoda. So how this is having connection with this Annelida? So usually Annelida's the main characteristic feature is segmentation. Is it or not? So this is a segmented animal. Are you getting my point? And excrete organs of annelidans are nephridia. So in these animals also, peripatus also will find nephridia. So nephridia and metameric segmentation, both are the characteristic features of annelidans. But actually both characters you will find in peripatus also. This is an annelidan character also it has. And along with that, when you come across arthropoda, this is actually belonging to arthropoda. So what about this arthropodan characteristic feature? Like the antenna, a pair of antenna or sensory structures you will find. Along with that, compound eyes you will find. Is it or not? So body divisions you will find, head, thorax, abdomen. So, but according to the arthropodan character, this is belonging to arthropoda. But it also exhibiting one or two features like metameric segmentation, excretory organs like nephridia. So these two characters belonging to annelida. That's what both the mixed characters you will find in this peripatus. That's what. So from the evolutionary point of view, so we will call it as this peripatus is evolved from annelida. How we will come to know? By giving some proofs. So morphological proofs like having, so this body segmentation or this internal anatomy like having excretory organs like annelida. That's what we'll call it as peripatus, as connecting link between annelida and arthropoda. Are you getting my point? So this is one best example belonging to onychophora. And second class, one more important class we'll just mention. So second class is very important, insecta. As you already know that this is the biggest class, insecta. So insecta is the largest class belonging to this phylum Arthropoda. So one best example for this, one best example you just note it down. So which one you will take? So best example, Apis indica. This is economically important species also. What is that common name? Honeybee. Write it down, honeybee. Economically important species. Apis indica. Second, one more economically important species, Lacifer, lac insect. Lac insect. Lac insect. And some are very harmful to the plants as well as animals also, especially cockroach. Cockroaches also belonging to class Insecta, phylum Arthropoda. Cockroach scientifically called Periplaneta americana. So they have given name as Americana means you will not find only in America. So all over the world you will find 2/3 of this globe. You will find most of these species, different cockroach species you will find. Not only cockroach, different insect species you will find all over the world. That's what I gave that name as a cosmopolitan in distribution. Not only in America, not only in India, right? Usually, most of the cockroach species are brownish in color. Have you seen brown colored, right? Dark reddish brown colored species are more than that of what another color will come, dark grayish color. These are rare compared with these cockroaches. And another very important, economically important species means another best example, silk moth. Have you heard this silk saree? So especially this is made up of with these thread, what we call it as threads. So silk threads will come. So that will come from this another important, economically important species. We will scientifically call it as Bombax mori. Bombax mori. We'll call it as silk moth or silkworm. Silk moth or silkworm also we can call. Silkworm or silk moth. Another very important species, Cimex. Cimex. Cimex, as you already know, that will commonly called bedbug. Bug. Bedbug. You heard this word bedbug? So bedbug is another very important species. This is not economically important. And sixth one, different species of mosquitoes. Mosquito, before going to that, Musca species. Musca commonly called housefly. Musca domestica. Housefly. So different species of mosquitoes will also add in this, like Culex species will come, Aedes species will come, and one more very important mosquito species that may cause a disease, like another very important, another Anopheles. Anopheles will cause a disease. Which disease? Anopheles. Anopheles will cause female Anopheles, especially male and female both will come. Male won't be a sanguivorous. Male will only feed on plant juice. If you are getting a disease like malaria, means that is to be caused by only female Anopheles mosquito when biting by this female Anopheles, not by male Anopheles. Male Anopheles are feeding only on these what we call it as plant juices and all. So, but the female Anopheles are what we call it as a sanguivorous type of animals. So, but these animals will also have this another very important chemical anticoagulant. You have already studied in annelidans. Leeches will have anticoagulant now when they will drink that any organism's blood, it won't undergo sudden clotting or clumping. Why? Because of due to presence of anticoagulant is there. In similar way, in female Anopheles also will find anticoagulant and thereby it will easily digest without any clumping. Are you getting my point? So it will cause malaria and Culex. Culex mosquito will cause. Culex will cause which disease? Filariasis or elephantiasis will cause. And Aedes aegypti will cause dengue, yellow fever, or any other disease conditions. Chikungunya you can take. All these are the different disorders to be caused by different species of this mosquitoes will be there. So you write it down in bracket mosquitoes. Different species of mosquito will cause either chikungunya, dengue, yellow fever, or elephantiasis or malaria. Right? So you just remember only species names, that's enough. So this is a second class insecta. And one more important species is that, so that they have asked in 2018 or 17 CET, that also you can mention, no problem. Lepisma. Lepisma will commonly called silverfish. Lepisma, silverfish. Silverfish is also belonging to insect, not fishes. Right? So fish is there now, so you will think that this belongs to fishes. No, just remember. And another very important class, you just note it down. Third class, crustacea. Crustaceans or crustacea. So one best example for these class animals. You just note it down. This is very important. Economically important species. What is that? Paleemon. Palemon. Palemon, commonly called a prawn. I've already told you in that yesterday's class. Prawn is also economically important species. This is marine species also, freshwater species also. Usually, you will find in marine water. So dark reddish in color or dark reddish brown in color, saline. And white color also you will find. Usually a white color you will find in freshwater ponds. One best example. Second one, as you already know that another very important species, cancer. Cancer, commonly called crab. And last another species, Lepidurus. Lepidurus scientifically called, commonly called lobsters. Lobsters. These three are very important species belonging to class Crustacea. So next, fourth class, just note it down. Class number 4, Chilopoda. Chilopodans, only one example. Chilopodans, commonly called, scientifically called as Scolopendra. 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 Scolopendra, commonly called centipedes. You heard this word centipede, millipedes? No? Centipedes. And another very important class, Diplopoda. Diplopoda. One best example, Zulus. At least you are not getting these class names, means you try to remember common name along with scientific name. That's enough. Zulus, millipedes or millipede. Millipedes. Millipedes. And another very important class, I have already told you that you get confused. Annelida is over now. Annelida, and here one more class will come same like that only. Arachnida. 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 One best example for these animals, scorpions. Scorpion, and scientifically also called same, scorpions. Scorpions. Scorpion, same. And another best example, spiders. Next, second example, spider, and scientifically called Arenea. Arenea. Class name also we can call it like that only, or Arenea species. Arenea. Just note it down. Arenea. Arenea. So these are different classes. And one more is remaining. That's not enough. Then also we just mentioned last class as a Merostomata. Merostomata. So one best example, I've given this class name. This is not no name. So example purpose, I gave the class name. Example for this class, Limulus. Limulus commonly called horseshoe crab. I heard that word horse. You already know horse. Shoe. Shoe means in that pedal foot region, so that will be looks like a shoe only. Is it or not? In foot region of these horses, four foots you will find. So in that foot region you will find complete that will be looking like a shoe. So horse, shoe, crab. So that organism is looking like a horseshoe. That's what they have given that name as a limulus. Or another name, horseshoe crab, or we'll also call it as king crab. Based on their shapes, they have given that different names: king crab or horseshoe crab. Over. Total 7 classes, mainly just remember 6 classes. If you want, you can. 7 thoughts. Nearest tomato, one best example, limulus. Another word that the limulus will also call it as living fossil. This will be having the ancestral characters in these organisms. Right? Living fossil also we call it limulus. So next after completion of this classification, we will move towards another very important phylum. Next, we'll just note it down. Phylum Mollusca. Note it down. Phylum Molluscans or phylum Mollusca. The name itself says mollusk. Mollusk means soft, right? So that's what these molluscans together phylum will call it as a soft-bodied animals. Soft-bodied animals or soft-bodied animals. Soft-bodied animals, and we'll start with this some characteristic features, some important or some basis of classification characters. So first character is common character is habitat. In almost all organisms, different types of habitats you will find. So like that type only here also you will find different habitats. So here these are mostly marine. Means in 190% of species are belongings to marine or salt water. Some are freshwater. Like you just mentioned, one best example, Unio. UNIO. Unio will commonly called a freshwater mussel. Freshwater mussel. 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 Freshwater mussel. Have you heard that word capture? So usually we'll find two shells are there. So in both the cell, in the middle of the both cell, you will find that a living organism. So usually in freshwater bodies like in small rivers and all, you will find these captives or unio. So that unio is belonging to the same phylum molluscans, or we'll also call it as some are bivalve animals are there. So on the both side, completely covered by calcareous shell. So that shell is made up of calcium carbonate shell. That is very hard shell. So in between the both shell, so in between you will find a space is there. Within that space, that organism or molluscan you will find. So that type of animals belongs to these molluscans. One best example, freshwater, unio. Marine, so many will come. That's what the rare